Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media. Today is a Wednesday. As you know, as always, on Wednesday, we usually have our live show where we host our leaders. And let me give up this opportunity to our guest today to introduce himself to our viewers, those will be watching currently and those will be watching after the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brother Benson, for hosting me today. I'm Douglas Shiuka, the National Chairman of Kenya Kwanza Lobby Groups. And I'm humbled to be in this studio today.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Douglas, for taking your time to be with us. It is quite an honor to have you on the show too, because here we usually discuss, or we do have conversation on issues that are touching our nation, be it political, be it social. So because each and every one of us here love our country. We don't look at political affiliation where you are affiliated, but we can just have a conversation, and maybe out of the discussion, something new, we can learn something new. And just to go to the main discussion of today, we just want to look about the NADCO report that 2 days ago, if I'm not wrong, was received by the two principal, that is to say, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto and Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga. What is your take on the NADCO report?
Thank you so much. I think my take on the NATCO report is timely, and this is what Kenyans needed for this country to move forward. Because we need to learn that an election should not be something that is going to divide us, but it should be something that unites us. And I think the NATCO report has brought Kenyans together. And to me, I think it is the best thing that happens to this government. And I take this opportunity to applaud His Excellency the President, William Samoei Ruto, and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga for taking the lead and agreeing for the formation of this committee.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Just to kind of like bring you a brief history to what has made us to be where we are, and now we are discussing about the NADCO report. Immediately after the President, Dr. William Ruto, was declared the winner, and the election petition went to the courts, and the courts affirmed his victory. There was a protest, and one of the main reasons actually that people went to protest is the cost of living. That was the main one. But when the NADCO report came, there are demands that were made by Azimio side and those that were made by the Kenya Kwanza. But in the NADCO report, they did not agree on the cost of living. And the cost of living, it was majorly touching on the citizen of Kenya, the larger. So where do we sit with the majority of Kenyans?
Hello?
Hello, I'm asking
Hello?
about the cost. Hello, can't you hear me?
Yes. I had lost you, but I cannot get you.
I'm asking about the cost of living. That was the major driving factor in the NADCO report, or the main reason why they went to the street. People went to the street because the cost of living was unbearable for them. But it's one point whereby the leaders, the committee did not agree on. What do you say about that?
Yeah, that was a contentious issue.
Mm-hmm.
And in the NATCO report, they did not agree on the way forward. So me, I think we cannot dwell on that so much because there are things that they were presented in the report and they were agreed upon. For example, like the IBC, the coalition suggested that IBC should be expanded from 7-member to 9-member.
Mm-hmm.
It was agreed.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of living, the committee agreed the formation of a commission to review, to oversee and review taxes that are punitive. So the commission is going to be formed in the committee to review, to oversee and review taxes,
Mm-hmm.
so that we see if the cost of even the reduction in travel allowances.
Yeah.
The commission agreed to reduce the travel allowances of all the state officers by 50%, by 50%, and those who are traveling inside the country, 30% daily.
Mm-hmm.
That was agreed in the report. And you see, like in the county allocation
Yeah.
currently to the county, it is 15%. Sorry, in the report, it was agreed that it has to be 20% and above going forward.
Mm-hmm.
20% and above going forward. And and uh, committees, they are going to be entrenched in the constitution. They are going to be fully entrenched in the constitution. And and even the formation of the prime minister office and official leader of opposition,
Mm-hmm.
it was something that was agreed in the report. So,
Mm-hmm.
and also a commission to regulate political parties and its leaders. It was agreed that this commission, it has to be formed, and it was also agreed that agents, political parties agents, during election are going to be paid by the state. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Are you, yes, it was also agreed that political agents,
Mm-hmm.
political parties agents during the election will be paid by the state, but not by the political parties.
Mm-hmm.
In the
So,
report, in the,
okay. Oh, I understand that, but now my question is,
yes,
you've talked about the expanding of IBC commission members from the 7 we know to 9, yeah.
yes, yes.
And how is this one going to cure the problems that we usually have as a country after every election?
From where I sit,
Mm,
I think number one
mhm,
is the composition of the commissioners. I believe that the commissioners should not be proposed by political parties. They should go through due process from qualified Kenyans and qualify to get these positions on merit. Because when you subject this to political divisions, then that means the IPC is not independent. Is not independent. Because if Azimio is going to propose, let's say, 4 members, Kenya Kwanza propose 5 members, then this IPC is not going to be independent. So me, I believe if it's going to be expanded to 9, let
mhm.
the process takes its course away from political patronage. This is the only way we can cure these complaints after general election.
But
And the audit, there is
mhm. You know our country well. This is not something very new when it comes to um, commissioners, because what is in the public domain, it is that when these commissioners are appointed, they are appointed to go in to look at who is stealing for who, or who is going to steal from who, you know. So if that mentality is still there, how are we going to run away from the violences that we usually get, or electoral injustices, if I may call it?
I think for once we need to go to election with two positions. One, that if you accept to participate in a democratic process, you must be able to accept the result. Either one, you are going to win, or two, you are going to lose. Because that's the democracy. But if you are going to lose and still demand you want to win, then why should you subject people to a process that is going to be disputed every day, every now and then? So me, I think is the process. If audit is supposed to be done, then let's audit the process, not the results. Was the process credible? Yes. If the process was credible, then why should you say? Why should you dispute the results if you don't have evidence?
Mm. Talking about
So
the
me,
audit.
I don't think
Okay.
I'm not for the audit
Mm.
if the objective of the audit is about the result, who won the election. But if it's about the process, was the process credible? Was the yes, the audit.
Let's come to audit.
Hello?
Yeah, let's come to audit. Are you getting me?
Yes, I'm
Hello.
getting you.
Let's come to audit.
Yes, I'm
I
getting
know.
you.
Yeah, I know you're
Yes.
aware. The Azimio side has proposed around three three people to be part of that audit, to be part of the committee that will doing the audit.
Yes.
And
Yes.
my question to you is, because this is touching on the national unity, why is it that we cannot point
Yes.
experts? Why are we not pointing experts who do not have political party affiliation and give us an independent report on the audit? Because if you are sending your party member, if Azimio has proposed those three, I know Kenya Kwanza will do the same. And this, when they go there, they will, first of all, they will put the interest of their political party first. But this is something that is touching on the national interest. Why should we get expert and give us an independent report?
I think I can give my personal opinion,
Yes.
and I think I concur with you that for the IBC to be independent, as the name suggests, let's get an independent person to oversee the audit. Because once we subject the audit and we nominate people from political parties, then we are making the process to be political. You don't expect Kenya Kwanza people to support the report or saying that, oh, we lost the election, or so it is still, we are still just trying to, number one, we are wasting time and also wasting the Kenyan taxes. I don't support
Yeah.
this issue of political parties proposing members to come and oversight the process.
Yes, that is something maybe the two leaders will look into. Again, I'm coming from to you again. When you look at the NADCO report and the BBI, there's a similarity.
Yes.
It's the same thing. The only difference is there is no constituencies that has been created. Yeah, and the BBI,
Yes.
you remember the BBI was opposed and went through the legal processes, and it was said that it was unconstitutional. The same time, the NADCO report, the judgment that was given recently said that the report was unconstitutional.
Yes.
Where does that one put us as a country between the politics and the law, or politics and the legal?
I think now, I think the parliament are going to amend what made the report to be illegal. So I
Mm,
think even before the end of this month, the report will be legal, and it will pass the test of any contention. So
mhm.
for me, as regards that the report is going to be legal or not, that one is going to be tackled by parliament, and it's going to be legal. So if it's going to be passed as it is, then it will have no legal issues.
Okay, and remember the right honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga said like he wants the report to be passed the way it is without amendment. But when you look at it, it touches on the executive, and those areas requires referendum. And as you look right now, when you look at the state of our nation, we have a huge debt. Where will we get the money to fund even the referendum, if to say so, because it touches on the executive, on the executive. Where are we going to get the money? Or there's a way in
On
which
the
Parliament.
executive, when you say executive, do you mean the formation of the office of prime minister and the official leader of opposition?
Yeah, no, executive, the office of the prime minister and the official leader of opposition. That one touches on
Mm,
the leadership, or it touches on the leadership. It is not something that you can create without consulting the people of Kenya.
mm,
Where will we get the money
mhm.
to run the referendum? And we know right now, the president is trying to so much to make the economy work.
Mm, maybe even if the report is passed as it is, but that does not mean that some of the proposals are going to be implemented immediately.
Mm,
They can be implemented maybe later on when we have money and when the country has stabilized. Because at this moment, when the country is having economic problems,
mm,
and the country is trying to heal, now the prime cabinet secretary
mm,
we are lobbying for him to get the chairmanship of African Union. If you bring in the referendum, then
mhm.
you'll be completely mixing everything,
Yeah.
and the country will completely lose the bearing, which is
Mm.
supposed to be, which is to me, it is not going to be the right thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So the issue of a referendum, in fact, that thing should not even show strength. It's a good thing.
Okay. There are words on the street that the NADCO report, it has created two tribes, and this tribe is the political class and the ordinary Kenyans. Because if you look at it, especially the positions that have been created, the prime ministers, the two deputies, and the an official opposition leader office. These posts, one, they will not benefit the normal Kenyans. They're just going to benefit the leaders that have been in the political playfield for the longest time. Do you agree with those sediments on the streets?
I don't agree with those sentiments on the streets, because this nation needs healing.
Mm,
And if those positions will bring healing and progressively going forward, why not?
mm, Mhm.
Yes, I don't think that if we need to get somebody who is not known, completely unknown, to
Mhm.
make him an opposition leader, because a leader of opposition is a position that is earned. It is earned that you are the leader of the second political party or coalition. So it is not just about going to the street and picking somebody. If you are the
Mhm.
leader of the second political party with the majority members,
Yeah.
that's not somebody whom we are just going to the street and picks from the streets. And the
Mhm.
prime minister is an appointee of the president.
Mhm.
And I think the prime minister is somebody who has got the experience. The president cannot appoint somebody from the streets. Even if you appoint somebody from the street who has got the experience and the qualification, why not? If he's a Kenyan, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
So me, I think the formation of those officers is yes,
When just to bring you, when you look at our constitution, right now, we have what we call the parliamentary system. And the parliamentary system is, if you look at it keenly, um, it kind of has that reflection of, or a resemblance of the American Constitution, whereby we have the executive and we have the legislature, and the the leader of opposition that we might call now, as it stand, it is Opiyo Wandayi, from the way things
mm,
stand in the parliament right now, because he represents the minority. So as somebody who
yes,
represents the minority, his work is to put the government on check.
yes.
Since is in the parliament. So where will this minority position go when we introduce the leader of opposition? Because he will be almost sitting in the parliament. Where will this position go? Or it will also be there? And what will be his role?
Mm, I don't think if that position will be still be there, because now the mandate of putting the government to check is will be the mandate of the official opposition leader and the two deputies. So I think the role of the minority leader, it will die with the enactment of this law.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
from the report itself, as a leader, because like you are the leaders that we are looking at, despite the fact that you might have political differences, you are all of you are still leaders, and you want good for Kenyans. So from where you
Yes.
sit, you feel like this report, yeah, is going to cure the
Yes.
problems that Kenyans have been having, and Kenya as a country too. So after the next general election, the 2027, there will be no any other committee that will be formed to dialogue on the matters that is touching on election, because this is going to cure it. Or what can we say?
I think this report
Hmm.
will clear most of those contentious issues
Okay.
because because the most contentious issue was about the process and inclusivity. So to me, I think this report empowers the opposition to check the government, and it gives the holder of these offices the resources from the state to be in a position to check the government properly.
Mm.
So I think the opposition, where will be, will feel entitled and strengthened to perform its oversight role to put the government in check. So I think to an extent it will solve most of these problems that have been coming after every election.
Okay, thank you so much. And we've talked so much about the NADCO report. And let's come to the issue also that is at hand about the Right Honorable Prime Minister who offered his candidature to become the AU Chair Commission. And Raila, when it comes to Kenyan politics, it cannot go without mentioning Raila's name. When you look at Western Kenya, that's where we want to focus. When he exits, what will happen to Western Kenya? Will they still have that fanatical fan base in Western Kenya, or that is going to change?
Are you getting me?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Yeah. you know, politics is dynamic.
Yeah.
And I think if there is any moment in the life of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, this is his moment.
Mm-hmm.
The moment that is going to have his legacy by going to be the chairman of the African Union. He'll kill two birds with one stone. One, he'll cement his legacy and leave the political stage as a statesman and a Pan-Africanist.
Mm.
Two, he'll be in a position to oversee and midwife his succession from Addis Ababa. Because some of these people have never imagined to be in politics without Raila Amolo Odinga, the Prime Cabinet Secretary. And this is going to create the emergence of new leaders.
Mm.
One, from the Low Nyanza. From the Low Nyanza, we're going to emerge a leader who is going to replace Raila Amolo Odinga. And generally in the opposition also, we are going to emerge a leader who is going to replace him. So we are going to have two processes running concurrently, emergence, which are going to replace Raila Amolo Odinga. One, from the Low Nyanza, and two, from the opposition. So this is a good thing that is happening in the presence of Raila Amolo Odinga. So Raila Amolo Odinga should be wise enough to midwife these things, this process, so that we don't have a big fallout.
So when you look at Western Kenya, especially, let's come to Kakamega, then we come to Busia. And Busia and Kakamega tend so much to have to be like Raila Odinga stronghold. He has majority of followers there. So with maybe somebody leading the ODM, as they say, it might be Honorable Oparanya, the former governor of Kakamega, or former governor of Mombasa, Ali Hassan Joe. Do they have that what it takes to combine, to have that fan base intact without getting broken, bearing in mind that your party, UDA, is also recruiting at a very high speed,
Yeah. It's something that's very technical, because it will also depend on how they are going to handle the succession within ODM. If we are going to have a fallout, between Oparanya and Joho, then for sure that will be the end of ODM. Because if Oparanya is going to be sidelined for any reason, not to take over from Raila Amolo Odinga, then those people from Western Province will not support whoever will be there. So it is a very tricky situation for ODM party. And even in the Low Nyanza, already we have got factions. We have a faction that is supporting Opiyo Wandayi. We have a faction that is supporting John Mbadi.
Mm.
as we speak at the moment.
What about
So
Babu Owino?
Baba Wino is still a political dawdler. He's still he's not among those people he's not among those people who are being mentioned.
Uh,
He's still in the political diapers. He's running the
mm,
ropes, but
mm,
he's not yet there.
mm,
It's not yet there, but it's among the people who are. I think they're supporting Joe. He's in the
mm,
faction of supporting Joe.
mm,
Yeah. So Papa, we know not yet, but Obio and I and John Mbadi, those are the guys to look for. So it depends how they are going to play their cards. If they're going to play their cards until they have a complete fallout, then
mm,
it will be over for ODM.
mm. But what about now? Because like on your side, I think this is a celebratory period for you if the Right Honorable Prime Minister would clinch the post of AU commissioner, because um, when when we look at um, the best competitor for the president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, we feel like Raila is the only competitor that can give him sleepless night. Will that one be a ride for the Kenya Kwanza, especially the UDA?
Yeah, every political party uh, is formed because of power.
Mm,
And if there is war or disorganization in your most competitor, in your number one competitor, why not? You will be happy because those you tell them now, people come here, let's come here and we form the government. And to be that
mm,
one, there is no
mm,
permanent enemy in politics. Politics is about interest and it's about bringing the country together. If that will make the laws to come to UDA and we be in peace and we move the country forward and we have cohesion, why not? It will be fine. Yes, it will be fine. We shall be glad to welcome the law community in UDA, even if they come all of them. Let them come and occupy the space in the UDA party.
mhm,
We shall welcome them with both hands. Yes.
mm. Okay. We will monitor what is will take place on the landscape. Now we have this house levy. I know you are a part of the government, and it is something that I think the first round was nullified by the courts, and I think there's another one that has gone through the parliament. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you see a possibility of another Kenyan going to court to challenge the new house levy?
Brother Benson,
Mm,
every Kenyan has a constitutional right to go to court and challenge anything. But
mhm,
what I can tell you is that a government comes to power with a manifesto to implement. After 5 years, the UDA party and the Kenya Kwanza government will be put to task by Kenyans to explain to them what they did for the last 5 years they were in power.
mm,
And if you are not going to work hard and implement your manifesto, then you'll be voted out of power. So these people going to court and stopping the implementation of the Kenya Kwanza manifesto are
mm,
doing a disservice to the government. The only thing they could do, let the government implement this manifesto. Then after 5 years, they come and say, no, we gave you time, we implemented the manifesto, but this thing it came out wrong. But if you stop me from
mhm.
implementing the manifesto, how will you put me to account?
But they will say you did not follow the due process. What is there is the due process. That's what they say in the street. Like the housing project is a very good project, but now the issue is the process. That's what they are questioning.
Yeah, but whatever is legitimately pointed out by the judiciary, If we find it legitimate, we go back to the back room and amend it so that it can suit the law. We don't want to break the law. If there is anything that is going to that people point that it is against the law,
Mhm.
we have to amend it so that we move forward without breaking the law.
Mhm.
But it should not be that they are trying to stop us from implementing the manifesto which brought us to power. No. Let them point out, but let them give us time to implement the manifesto, so that even if we implement the manifesto wrongly, that should be an advantage to them, because they'll make it fodder of our mistakes to take us out of power. But
Mhm.
let them give us time to implement our manifesto. And then after 5 years, let them come and say, "No, we did this, we did this." Then we see they take audit of what we did.
Okay. Um, let's hope for the best for the phase two of the housing levy, if somebody will not go to court. But also, like that's where like the president usually say like the employment will come from there. Does it mean like there are no other areas whereby employment can be created apart from the building the affordable housing? Or do you have any, because like you are inside in the government, you might know areas that government has created an opportunity that we don't know, because like it always been housing.
We have got so many areas. We have got factories. We have
Mhm,
got, like housing.
mhm,
There are so many people who are getting employment through that.
mhm,
Even in factories, the production of those things that are being used to build those houses,
mhm,
transportation, masons, engineers, quantity surveyors, those kind of things. So the creation of jobs is along that line. So people, you should not just think that the person who are laying the bricks and who are building are the one who are being employed. No, there is a chain from production up to up to the development.
mhm. Okay, but
Yes,
like
Ben.
but when you listen to president, majority of the time he talks about this house levy whereby like the employment will come from those areas. And maybe as a lobby, a lobby member group of Kenya Kwanza, this is something that I've always asked and I wanted to know. Is there any plans that we have as a lobby group whereby the Kenyan professional, when they're being employed into the market, there's a minimum wage whereby any professional should be employed? Because this is something that you find so many Kenyans who are very professional, I mean, when they get into the market, they do not have minimum wage. You can get somebody who is a lawyer, but he's paid like uh peanut, you know, accountant.
Mm.
Is there something that you are working on as a government whereby we should have a minimum entrance into the employment when it comes to payment?
That's a tricky thing because the market is liberal.
Mm-hmm,
And if we say, for example, a graduate, a master, a bachelor's graduate,
mm-hmm,
maybe should be pegged on maybe 50,000, for example.
mm-hmm,
We have to factor in that different professions demand different wage wages.
mm-hmm,
So that is something that the government cannot control because the market is free. We have got a free market, and freedom of employment, and employment, uh, this is secular agreements. So we
mm-hmm,
cannot the government cannot tie the hands of the employee and the employer would be by putting the wage, the amount of money that maybe, for example, somebody who has got a master's degree or somebody who has got a bachelor's degree should earn. I think that should be an agreement between an employee and an employer,
yeah.
depending on the kind of profession that they're dealing in.
Yeah, and this is what I call the minimum wage. Yeah, so like if you
Yes,
look at
yes,
some countries, they have what we call a minimum wage. And this
yes.
minimum wage, it depends. Let's say, for instance, we are saying that minimum wage for anybody who is getting into employment, and these are professionals, yeah, we would say that they
mm,
should be paid even like 15,000. That is a minimum wage. So
mm,
when somebody has masters, now that one will depend on how you negotiate it with your employer. But once
mm.
you're coming into the market, you should have, this is what should be paid, rather than whereby you can find the same professional, somebody's an accountant, he's in another firm, he's paying 15,000, then the same profession, somebody's another firm is paying 5,000. They are all accountants. So we having that
Yes.
minimum entrance wage, or that one cannot work. Maybe have you ever thought of that line as now, because this is, you are in government, have you ever thought of that line? Because if that one happens, that one also will help to grow the economy.
I think that is happening. We have got minimum wage in
Yeah.
Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
We have got minimum wage entrance in Kenya. Yes, we
Oh,
have. Yes,
so
we
which
have
means
got minimum wage.
the factories are not putting it into place, or people who are employing.
Yes, some maybe they might not be putting in, but we have got minimum wage guidelines, whereby a
Okay.
mason who is employed is supposed
Mm-hmm.
to get this amount when he enters the company.
Mm-hmm.
Every year there is a so minimum wage guidelines is there in Kenya.
Okay. Well, that's
Some
good to
people
hear.
maybe some is that
Okay.
minimum wage guidelines.
Okay, Honorable Douglas, I think like our time is kind of like it went so fast. Maybe your last comments to our viewers.
Yes.
Maybe your last comment to our viewers, and what you would want to say to them.
I'll say I'm so humbled to be a panel and to be hosted in this show. Uh, I'm available anytime you wish to have me again.
Yeah.
I'm very much available, and thank you so much for having me. And I'm
Okay.
sorry for coming late. I was in another meeting. I came very late, and I promise next time I'll be very early. I'll be prompt.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Douglas, and also for taking your time to be with us on the show and discuss with us things that are matters to us. As always, this our show, we host our leaders because what we want, we need this conversation. And from conversation alone, we can change so many things, like about the minimum wage. Is something that I've always wanted to know, whether we have that minimum wage, if it is there. So that is good. I've learned a new thing. And
Mm,
maybe I will host you again to talk about the achievement of the government. If we find time, what
yes.
government has achieved, and we see from there. And our viewers will also let us know if they are feeling the impact of the government.
Mm.
Yeah, and that once again, very, very, very grateful for taking your time to be with us on the show. And may God bless you. I will call you again so that we can share more.
Thank you so much. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, brother.